Race 2 of BMW M Performance Parts Race Series. New sponsor on board with the BMW Car Club Racing Series this year, taking over from the long-standing relationship with Bridgestone. And now M Performance Parts is our new sponsor for this category. And they had an entertaining debut, there's no doubt about it. They have got 29 cars on the grid for the second heat of today's racing. They started with, I think, 32 in the first heat. The cars not making it onto track for the second one. But also just be aware that these cars will be in action next weekend at the Kyalami 9 Hour with a field of, I believe, 50 cars that'll be racing. I think they may be splitting the two categories. So classes A and B will be in one race, and C, D, and E will be in the second race next weekend at Kyalami. It's William Ironkamera who will be on pole position for the second heat, a lot better than he was in the first one. He started almost fourth last and had to make his way through the pack of slightly slower cars in the lower categories to get his Class A competitive BMW to the front end. Didn't quite get to the front end though. Alongside him will be Lyle Ramsey, Alan Hilligan, and it looks like they've inverted the grid down to 9th place for Class B. And that of course would be Andreas Meyer, the German, finished up in race number 1. He finished first overall. Started his retention of his 4th title in BMWs with a victory. And the German there just ahead of the man checking out the 235 car there of Mikael Patamba. So you see those white wheels and the touring car colours of the German. About 5 cars down on the right hand side. You've got Salvi Gutteri just ahead of him in the red BMW. There is Ironkamera and Lyle Ramsey with Hilligan and Everstein the second row. It's Jagger Robertson, our youngest driver there, alongside Osbagioni. As I mentioned, Salvi Gutteri and Andreas Meyer, Carlo Gobini, Thomas Portgieter. Then you've got Mikael Patamba leading out Class C, Hein van der Merwe in second. Trevor Long in the roof surgeon car with Michelle Singh in the Winfield BMW, ahead of Renier Smith and Matt Wadley. Class D was Nicholas Herbst, Eugene Gous, Sean Dodd, Manny Ribeiro, Davy Olivier, and Ari van Heerden, Shane Krobler, Craig Herbst, and Rian Lubba, and Nicholas van Sale, Bernard de Gavea, Nicholas Fisher, and Vegan Naidu being the top contenders in Class E. If you're a BMW fan, this is where you need to be right now. So I know there were a couple that were sending us messages saying, when does this race start? We couldn't really give you a time because we have fallen back ever so slightly in terms of what the suggested time of this race should be, which was about 15:30 this afternoon. It's now 5:15, so we are running ever so slightly late. We have had huge amounts of incidents on track and lots of action all day long, so understandably the passion for speed has lived up to its name. There's some passionate drivers, some speedy ones, some a bit too speedy and passionate for what Zwartkops are capable of handling. It's going to be a tough ask there for the man at the back to try and come through, I can tell you that much, but keep an eye out on the action in the mid-pack and all the way through, because as always, the arena of motorsport provides top quality race action, no matter what. So they all come up behind the safety car now, getting ready to go for the rolling start. 99 Rian Libba. But it's Ironkamera who will set the pace with Lyle Ramsey on his inside. Hilligan and Everstein behind them. Jagger Robertson alongside Osbagioni, Salvi Gutteri and Carlo Gobini. 5th row is the man who won the first race, and that is the German, Andreas Meyer, ahead of Thomas Portgieter, the last of the Class B competitors. Heading up Class C is Mikael Patamba. There he is in the 235 car. He's just behind Thomas Potgieter in the turbo-powered car. Stand by for the lights to go out, and Einkamera drops the hammer, catches all these guys napping. Not quite sure why Lyle Ramsey wasn't right there with him, but Ramsey just got caught by the wayside, and he slots up into second place, but he keeps out Alan Hilligan for now. William Einkamera leads into turn 2 with it's Everstein. Hilligan dropping back by the wayside as well into the clutches of Jagger Robertson. Salvi Gutteri going side by side out of turn 2 with the outside car of Oz Baggioni. Outside line out of turn 3, not only being Baggioni, but also Carlo Garbini, with the German already squeezing through and making a move up into possibly 8th place. As they come out of turn number 4 up the hill, Jagger Robertson goes on the attack to Jan Everstein, looking to try and close down on Everstein. Everstein late on the brakes, and can he make it stop? Only just avoids Lyle Ramsey by a few millimeters. 25 is Baggioni, already under attack there from Andreas Meyer. Hilligan is off. Oh, so is Dodd. Warren Dodd getting out of shape and onto the side. Sorry, Sean Dodd off the circuit completely. Hilligan now under attack. Garbini's got through on the German. He had to tap on the brakes there ever so slightly, which compromised his drive. Here comes Jagger Robertson on the inside of Everstein. Jan Everstein under attack from the Viking Big Boss auto car. Everstein just shuts the door, doesn't allow the youngster through. Here comes a move here from Jagger Robertson, trying to find a way past. Can't find it just yet as he comes out of turn 2. He's got Salvi Gutteri on his tail. Remember, there's some naturally aspirated cars and some turbo cars in the mix as well. One of the big turbo cars is Salvi Gutteri, so he's definitely in with a shot here of taking on this field. Looking for the extra squirt from that BMW on the straightaway. Further back, the 24 car, fighting all on his own at this stage, trying to close things down there. Vegan Naidu, and trying to close down on Nicholas Fisher. There goes Michelle Singh, just ahead of the Stigworks machine. Nice drive there from the taxi this time out, 330. Being driven by Manny Ribeiro as the guest driver in that taxi car this time as they head to the top of the hill. Late move from Rainier Smith, closing down on that Stigworks car. And Hein van der Merwe just shuts the door. Change up for second by the looks of things. Yeah, big time. It is now the Viking Mining Big Boss Auto and Liqui Moly BMW of Jagger Robertson, who's moved up into second place. Ahead now of Lyle Ramsey. Salvi Gutteri behind them, looking to try and come through as well, along with Carlo Garbini. Oz Baggioni and Everstein side by side as they head towards 2 with the German on their tail. Andreas Meyer trying to find a way past. Einkamera still at the helm and controlling things from the front end. Garbini goes on the inside of Ramsey and flies past him. Here comes Salvi Gutteri along for the ride as well. Salvi Gutteri late on the brakes, gets through. Further back, fights through the pack for Class D honours. The 30 car there, fighting hard, trying to find a way through is Craig Herbst on Manny Ribeiro. 30 versus 330. And 31 just behind them, trying to squeeze through 2 will be Nicholas Herbst. Shane Krobler in the Mayfair Gearbox BMW. Warsteiner BMW colours on that car as well. Other German touring car days. Here comes, speaking of German touring cars, here's a South African touring car diving through, and the German makes up one place on Ramsey. Andreas Meyer now trying to keep out Ramsey and goes directly into the hunt there for Oz Baggioni's BMW just ahead of him. Baggioni with VR Fuel and Design Lab colours now. Used to be known as the Pool Man. He had a pool company on the side of that car for a long time. New change of sponsorship coming into the 2022 season. And Andreas Meyer goes hunting for him. Here comes the 9-1 car of Thomas Potgieter, also running turbo power to get through on Everstein, and now looks to get onto the back end of Lyle Ramsey up the hill. Late braking from Andreas Meyer. Gets on the inside of Baggioni and squeezes through. Baggioni now looking to stick with Andreas Meyer, hopefully use him to pull him up to the 3 cars up the road. Make it 4, because we haven't really spoken about William Einkamera. He's all on his own at the front end. Jagger still in second place and potentially going to be fighting for the lead of this one if he can. But I don't know if he's going to have enough time to close down on William Einkamera up the road. 335i of Einkamera, and of course Jagger Robertson out there in the M3. Lots of work still to be done here from these top 5 cars, and Thomas Potgieter arguably working harder than anybody else out there to get ahead of Lyle Ramsey. Dives into turn 4, inside line, and eventually squeezes out Lyle Ramsey. Ramsey slots in behind that big wing up the hill. Look at Salvi Gutteri going on the defensive as Andreas Meyer comes alongside, cuts back into turn 6. Gutteri shuts the door in the SAF speed car. It was close. Salvi Gutteri nearly getting overtaken there by the German, but now Andreas Meyer could hunt him into turn 8. Not close enough. Baggioni right behind him, looking to close things down there on the two of them as they go out of turn 8 into turn 1 to complete another lap. 55 Eugene Koos all on his own. Some easily done as they come down towards turn 2 now. This is Andreas Meyer applying a bit more pressure onto Salvi, and Salvi feeling it. Oh, he's out of shape. Salvi Gutteri must have lost a bit of drive out of that corner with that little slide. That's going to give Meyer the opportunity to dive on the inside, and he goes alongside him down that back straightaway. It's going to be side-by-side action, and eventually Salvi gives up. He just slots in behind the German and into the clutches of Baggioni, who's got Potgieter coming from behind. Here's Everstein into the back end of Ramsey now. Hilligen just behind them. Not too far off there for Thomas. And I can tell you it's going to be a bit of a fight out there as well. As Thomas has got through, let's see what he can do now in terms of making his way even higher up than what he is there. Potgieter flying high. Here's Garbini on the inside of Jagger Robertson into turn 8. Change up for second. Carlo Garbini hits second place. William Einkamera up the road now and in trouble as Carlo Garbini starts to hunt him down, looking for a chance now to close down on that 555 BMW. Jagger Robertson also going through there on the 335. Bernard de Gavert just moving out of harm's way as the quicker cars come through. Into the back straight. Where is 555? We haven't seen him for a long time. How far up the road is he from Carlo Garbini here in second? And Jagger Robertson in third. Here comes the German for 4. 5 is Salvi Gutteri, Baggioni in 6. And completed 6 of the 10 by the looks of things. They're onto the 7th lap now. Jagger Robertson on Garbini's tail. Hasn't let him get away too badly. Jagger, of course, running normally aspirated, the turbo car there of Garbini. It's normally aspirated versus turbo here. Stig works. Fanamava around the outside. Michel Singh on the inside in the Stanek Group N replica there of the 325i Shadowline. We've seen a couple of those out here today, that's for sure. That'll continue between these two, starting to hot up a bit as well. Here's our leader, Einkamera, around the outside of the second of those slightly smaller BMWs, of course, heading up the hill now. Einkamera is just cutting through the field rapidly, using that pole position to good effect, and in fact, the fantastic start he had to very good effect. He caught everybody napping, including Lyle Ramsey, who should have been alongside him for the start of that race, but he was found wanting there on the start. It should be 8 laps completed and 2 to go. Einkamera now with a good advantage over the 920 car of Carlo Garbini. Baggioni still in a fight there with Salvi Gutteri just behind them. Thomas Potgieter, as I said, reeling them in slowly but surely, using that turbo power. On the brakes down into turn 2. Makes up about half a car length there, and slowly but surely getting a lot closer to the back end of Oz Baggioni. Salvi Gutteri still hanging on, potentially for a top 5 overall. Remember, all of these top 9 cars are all out of Class B. Further back there, Shane Krobler. He's, of course, in the fight for Class D honours there. Craig Herbst just ahead of him. And looks like they've caught the back end of the 55 car now as well. So Eugene Ghoos under threat. There is Trevor Long in the roof surgeon car. He's just behind there. Mikael Patamba, I beg your pardon. Coming through here in the 235i. Mikael Patamba also potentially at the front end of Class C. He is. Matt Wadley still second and Trevor Long third. Matty Wadley just behind him there. You can see he's trying to close that gap down on Mikael. One of the youngest drivers out there too. A very, very talented young man who spends time not only in sprint races but also in the Endurance Championship. Gioni going to close down on Salvo Guterri. He's done that, but he hasn't been able to get past. Here comes the leader onto that pack that we've just spoken about. Herbst coming through and crossing the line with the checkered flag. It's William Arnkamera taking the win. Arnkamera comes through for the win there in the 555 BMW. Cross the line and the flag is out. I don't think William Arnkamera saw that checkered flag. He is still hauling around here. I don't think he's seen it. Portkita would have seen it. He might have been caught up because there were a few cars ahead of him, and Henry the flag was a little bit slow pulling that checkered flag out. So checkered flag is definitely out, but I don't think William Arnkamera has seen it, and I don't think any of those cars that were with him saw it either. Let's see whether we're going to see a change up there for Arnkamera's point of view. Has he rolled off slightly, or does he realise that the race is done? Carlo Garbini definitely knows it's done. He's got second place. Jagger Robertson has come through for third in Class B. The German scores some good points. Not quite where he wanted to be, though, I'm sure, for fourth. But a win in fourth place is definitely a great start to the season. And, of course, they will head to Kyalami next week for the Kyalami 9 hour. It's part of the Curtin Razor events there.